I'm speaking to you from the beautiful rolling hills of Judea, from the land of Israel. And the words that just come to my mind, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. When you think of just how wonderful these times are that we're living in, I'm sure we've all had a very enjoyable Purim. When you think of the sense of affluence that we are living in, I'm sure you've already started to see the matzahs be put out in the supermarket and the abundance of food that comes with preparing for Pesach. Spiritually, we celebrate our Judaism. There is so much to be grateful for. There's so much to be thankful for. It's truly the best of times. But it was also the worst of times. It doesn't take much to think and to look around and to see and explore just how times are so challenging right now, politically, whether in the state of Israel or back home in Canada, in terms of what's going on with the war, in terms of what's going on with the hostage negotiations, in terms of what is going on with the global political world, in terms of how Israel finds itself in a very difficult moment and a very challenging time. It's never been a more profoundly challenging moment than this moment that we are at the crossroads of. And really that's the message. We're in a crossroads. What do we do? Where are we supposed to draw strength from? And I believe an incredible message can be found in the season of the year in which we find ourselves. We are between Purim and Pesach. Purim we just had, Pesach is coming up. And these two incredible holidays of celebration, these two festivals of redemption, are marked so significantly by tzedakah, by charity. On the one hand, Purim, we know we have an obligation to give matanot le'evyonim, gifts to the poor, financial gifts of tzedakah to those who are in need. And when it comes to the holiday of Pesach, we know that kimcha de pescha, communally, historically, kehilot, communities would always give charity to those most in need to make sure that everybody had flour for matzah. And in more modern times where perhaps matzah is readily available, we give tzedakah, we give charity, we give funds to those in need in order to make sure they have 4 cups of wine, in order to make sure that everybody can celebrate this holiday of redemption, the upcoming holiday of Pesach. On the one hand, tzedakah for Purim. On the other hand, tzedakah for Pesach. And as we find ourselves in this moment, the best of times and the worst of times, we find ourselves between these two opportunities for tzedakah. Tzedakah is able to create miracles. In the words of our sages, tzedakah tatzil mimavet, tzedakah saves a person from death. Tzion b'mishpat tifter b'shivye b'tzedakah. Zion will be redeemed through acts of righteousness and in moments of charity. This is a very profound message for all of us right now, because what tzedakah means is turning inward and taking care of those who are closest to us. The Talmud teaches if there is a poor person in your city and the poor somewhere else, the poor of your city get preference. If there is a poor person in your family and a poor person living somewhere in your community, the poor person in your family gets priority. When it comes to tzedakah, we turn inwards, not exclusively. There's always an opportunity and there's always a need to look at what the world has yet to gain and to offer an opportunity. Yet primarily, fundamentally, tzedakah means taking care of our own first, not abandoning the world, but giving a sense of priority to those closest to us. At this time, between Purim and Pesach, when we look at the challenges, let's also remember the blessings, the opportunities. Tzedakah tatzil mimavet, tzedakah saves from death. And Sion b'mishpat tifter b'tzedakah, Zion will be redeemed through righteousness and charity. Shabbat Shalom.